You got a lot of people that say that they want to run for office, and while they may have one set of qualifications on one end, they have a whole set of disqualifications on the other end. But it's all relative to perception. And it helps to get some feedback from folks around you. A lot of folks run and they patch up their secrets. They can hide them well. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you. A lot of people say, well, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I get things done. I make things happen. Really? You should know that we're still in the feasibility study stage, and the question that I want to ask you from outside looking in, are you vulnerable or viable in your consideration to run for more for life? And before you answer, let me ask you a last question. It could be, are you both? Well, thank you so very much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I really do. And I want you to tell some people about what we're doing, because we grow through the power of community. One day we'll talk about that. We're able to push our own folks forward. Now, I know we got a lot of jealousy and envy and strife and divisiveness going on, but for the most part, we're good folks. So, as we consider our candidacy for more for life, I think it's fair that you analyze yourself as a possible candidate. Are you someone that aspires to something specific? Will people nominate you for something purposeful? Keep in mind that the thing that you would be nominated for, or the thing that you would be qualified for, cannot be interrupted except by emergency only. Cannot be interrupted except by emergency only. Talking about our possible candidacy for more for life, not just more houses and more cars and more money. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Those things are byproducts of vision. Those things are byproducts of principle. Those things are byproducts of momentum. A lot of folks are chasing a lot of things, and we need to accept in this country that everybody is not going to be rich and everybody doesn't have to be poor. And that there are 1,000 ways for you to get from the bottom to the top, but once you get to the top, you still have, as they say, a God-given inalienable right. This is a God-given inalienable responsibility, really, to look out for your brother once you have made it. Once you have made it, that's your responsibility. I'm not saying anything about the federal government, anything like that. This is a God thing when it comes to having achieved all A-L-L that you can achieve. All that you can achieve. Just wanted to throw that in there because some of you listening to me are well-to-do. I know about well-to-do. I have a father who's well-to-do. You think he's a Jew too, but he's well-to-do. So I just wanted to throw that out there for many of you who've made it, who are making it. Doesn't leave you void of a responsibility, so you could also run have a candidacy for more for life, more impact, more influence, more good. Some people, the more they do well on the personal side, or the professional side rather, they do absolutely horrible on the personal side. You're good on the front of professional, but your personal life is a mess. That may be a candidacy for consideration. We're going to talk about that more as we move forward. But today, the questions are you a viable or vulnerable candidate? And you need to know, as well as myself, what kind of candidate you would be. If you're a viable kind, let's start off with the positive. As somebody said, I want to just be positive. Okay, you know what I think about that. You can't have power without negative and positive. People who are only always positive don't think or don't have a very in-depth situation going on, to me. I wouldn't bring you my problems if you were always positive, because you've got to know the balance of the two. You've got to know the algorithm. You've got to know the equation first. And there has to be a mixture. But let's say that you are a viable candidate. What would that mean? Well, I'll just put it in 2 words. That means that you have the plausibility and the possibility of growing and developing your candidacy. Plain and simple. You can grow it and you can develop it. But listen, let's say that you are a candidate going for something specific, some specific platform, specific achievement, specific purpose. That's what we talk about for More for Life. Your candidacy possibly running for More for Life. We're talking about specifics now. We're not talking about generalities. Well, I just want to stop getting mad. No. We want to talk about how you can run for the candidacy and be viable in the specific area, a measurable area. Okay, I want to run for More for Life. I want to eat better and lose weight. I'm just using that for an example. Well, are you viable? What about your candidacy? What about you? What about your constituents? What about your belief systems? What about your platforms? What about your positions that will cause you to grow and develop in the area of the specified office you want to hold? And in this case, this example, the office is to hold my weight at a considerable level while eating healthy. My viability in that candidacy is that I can A, B, C, D, E, F, G that ensures growth and development. Now, if you're not taking notes by now and you're hanging out with the coach on the coach's corner, shame on you, because you know how you know I can go. If you don't have a little journal, if you're not writing some of these tidbits down and you're thinking that you're going to remember all of this, that could be part of your vulnerabilities, as we're getting ready to talk about now, because your candidacy now has vulnerability pockets of vulnerability. So the answer to the question on the opening is, are you viable or are you vulnerable? You're both, because we all have growth and developing aspects of our personality, of our lives, our professional background, but we all have vulnerabilities. And what is vulnerabilities in your candidacy as you consider running for More for Life, for more control, for more balance, to be more loving, to have greater impact, to increase my travel ability, to reach out to family, to be a peacemaker, to hire people without fear. Don't let me have to go there. Oh, I have such fear to hire people because I don't know what the federal government is going to do. You know. Well, that could be that could be something you could use a whole year to overcome. Because I'm gonna tell you something, once you hold hands with fear, it's kind of hard to let go, and even after you let go, you tend to grab that hand again of fear, and you tend to walk that way. The old song, walk this way. So you're talking about the vulnerability. Well, it simply means you're going to be open to attack. You're going to be liable for attack and criticism. And it helps if you know. We're putting the spotlight on you. Part of the problem is in success is that people are so busy aiming for success, they forget to aim for personal development, because you are the magnet for success. You're so busy running around passing out cards and networking. You're so busy running around impressing folks with what you can do and what you can achieve and what you can say and how you can put things together, that you forgot to work on you. You forgot that you attract success. You attract opportunities. You forgot that more is accomplished resting than working. So do you know where your vulnerabilities are or not? Because if you don't know where you're going to be attacked, I don't want you to run for more for life. I'm not talking about whether or not even you're tough-skinned or not. I'm talking about the plausibilities of not having the right support because of your vulnerability areas, your areas of weakness. I'm talking about the viability, the plausibility rather, that your vulnerability could hinder your viability. Could what you have done, said, positions you have held, platforms you have disseminated information about, be greater in attack form, greater in risk than your possible plausible growth or development? That's a question for you to answer, not me. I can't answer that for you. But do you see that viability is the positive and the vulnerability is the negative? You get it now? You get it? And knowing the ingredients of the two and balancing them out together is the key. You just got it. Viability is the positive. My growth and development could come from my willingness. You see them on the Shark Tank. If you haven't watched that show, you've got to watch it. It's on Hulu Plus. It's also on television. Check your listings, your local listings. But a lot of them have great viability statements. And then the sharks ask them some questions that shows their vulnerability. I tell you, I eat that show for breakfast. But the point is, that's a perfect example of negative and positive. And you should see the faces on television of these people when they're asked or they're attacked of their weakness. Just something to think about. Y'all follow me right here on Spreaker, Facebook, Twitter. And don't forget, subscribe to me on YouTube. All right. See you later. You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.